Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.
Y'all ready for this?
Welcome back to 30 Teams in 30 Days. For day 19, we're going to be staying in Texas and talking about the Houston Astros. In 2025, they went 87-75, which really wasn't a bad record, but did break their 8-year streak of cheating to get to the playoffs. This also marked the first real season where the decline of their aging stars really took effect. Some of these stars include Jose Altuve, who was 34 and turned 35 during the season, Carlos Correa, who was 30, and also Christian Walker, who was 34. Another reason for their downfall could have been that their young guys just were not able to produce at the rate they were before. Yainer Diaz is a perfect example of this. He's only 26. Cam Smith came up, he's 22 years old and wasn't sexy. And the final reason for their downfall, you cannot overlook injuries. That's just part of the game, but Yordan Alvarez just could not get anything going and could not stay on the field. It was hard enough for him to get on there, then after a little bit of time, he had to leave again. As much as I love to see Houston do poorly, I also keep in mind that these guys who are aging and not performing as well are the ones I grew up on, are the ones that got me interested in baseball and are more interested in baseball, especially through fantasy. As much as I hate Jose Altuve, he's been with the Astros for 15 years, and he has been on my team for many of those years. He's pretty good. This was really the first year it smacked him in the face. It looks like everything, the regression, came at once. Age regression is unbeaten. And that breaks my heart, but also helps keep in mind that there are new stars that are going to be emerging in this game. Maybe they won't cheat. Maybe they will. I don't know. His numbers were still respectable, but the clutch, reliable Altuve wasn't there in 2025. Maybe he'll get it back in 2026 and kind of beat Father Time for at least one more year. But unfortunately, Altuve, you're going to have to show me before you get back on my team, buddy. Moving on to Correa, he found his way back to Houston and hit the ground running. Ended the season with a .290 batting average. But in 51 games, he really didn't produce much. Only a few home runs, a few RBIs here and there. Definitely helped him, but not the Correa that we all remember. I also remember him getting hurt more often than not. Plus, age regression player we're going to talk about is Christian Walker. First year in Houston did not go well. While some of his stats did stay in line with Arizona days, home runs, RBIs, doubles, that was also with 20 more games and 100 more at-bats. So the prorated numbers really aren't that great. Some numbers, unfortunately, fell to either career lows or hit career highs. He did drop in different categories, but the one main one that takes the cake, per se, was strikeouts. He had 177 strikeouts, which is now a career high for him. It was 44 more than his last year there in Arizona and 20 more than his previous career high, which was, I don't know, probably 8-9 years ago. So really was not doing what he was expected to do. Moving on from age regression to injury, Yordan Alvarez absolutely hit that wall last year. He unfortunately did start the season on the IL, did play in 48 games, and did Yordan Alvarez things. Saw a ton of walks. Then, of course, injury bug hit him, significant sprain, and had to end the season. He's going to be back healthy and ready to bolster that lineup in 2026. And for my sake, because I do have him on one of my teams, I hope he is back, and I hope he does big Yordan Alvarez things. Next guy we're talking about doesn't have a history of injuries and isn't really that old, so Yainer Diaz just fell flat in 2025. 2023 he came in, 282 batting average. 2024 he had a 299 batting average. Fluctuating stats, but then 2025 he just fell off. While he did hit more home runs, he did also strike out more, but also played in 44 more games. So the concern really is just the average and not really as much pop as we would expect or hope for. Really the number not being 300 or near 300 like it was the first 2 years. I think that's the biggest concern, but yeah, we need you to hit a lot more, buddy. And I say hit a lot more. I did read your hard hit rate has gone down, exit velocity gone down. You're hitting the ball, but it's not as hard. You're barely getting these home runs over. So again, for my sake, come on, man. Need you to keep doing big things, even though I hate the Astros. As we continue to mow down these offensive players, the next one is going to be on the opposite end of the spectrum. He's only 22. Cam Smith, as a former top 100 prospect, he profiled as a really hard ground ball hitter with an erratic throwing arm from third to first and fringy speed. This didn't sound good, but once he made his leap up to the show, he held his own. It wasn't sexy. hit 236, did hit 9 home runs, 51 RBIs, had some stolen bases, up to 8. He's going to be looking to improve those numbers as he does man right field in 2026. They moved him from third because they have someone, Isaac Paredes already there. They had someone, little crappy Alex Bregman there. So, yeah, don't like Bregman. Never have, never will. Never have him on my team. In any case, Cam Smith, young guy, definitely has room to improve. And they don't really have anyone better to play out there. So, Cam Smith, come on down. Now, sounds like we've crapped on these Astros players the entire time, and that's made me feel really good because I hate the Astros as a Yankees fan. But was there any positive to talk about? Was there anyone to talk up? Yes, absolutely. Jeremy Pena. Despite missing 30 games in 2025, he still had better numbers than in 2024. As a shortstop, he has range to defend, he's got speed to steal bases, and he's got pop to get the ball over the fence. He's going to potentially start the year on the IL because in the World Baseball Classic, he did get hit on the hand and fractured the tip of his ring finger on his right hand or something like that. So still looking for him to recover from that, still looking for updates, but hopefully he'll be able to do very well at short for the entire year, even if he does miss a little bit of time. As we move to the pitching, this was a two-man show, and I don't understand how the Astros were even 3 games out of making the playoffs. Yeah, it was wild how much Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez led. Like, they distanced themselves more so than DeGrom and those other guys talk about, like Kumar Rocker and so on and so forth. Like, these guys, Hunter Brown and Framber Valdez, holy cow. Combined, these guys had 62 starts, 41 quality starts, 25 wins, and 393 strikeouts and 397 innings pitched. Pretty solid. The rest were not. As another little stat piece, there were 13 other starting pitchers, and they combined for 28 quality starts. That was just 7 more than what Hunter Brown had himself. One man against 13, and they only beat him by 7. There were 2 that did stand out. Now, very different reasons they stood out. One was very good at the very beginning of the year, and one was pretty good towards the end of the year, but they both had their falters. Hank Wisniewski came over from the Cubs last year and started the year in the rotation. He had 6 starts and was doing very well. In his 6th start of the season, he felt tightness in his elbow in the 4th inning, had given up 4 earned runs, and guess what? Tommy John surgery was on the horizon. He did end up with a 4.1 ERA, so that wasn't pretty, but keep in mind, 4 earned runs in 4 innings in his last game. His whip was 1.09, so he did miss the regular season 2025. Probably going to take a little bit of time, come back in 2026, but he was absolutely on his way to produce hopefully some good numbers in that rotation. The pitcher that came over in a trade, but later in the season, was Jason Alexander. Found himself in the rotation and made 12 starts. 3 of those were 6 innings plus with 0 earned runs. And he also had 2 starts where he gave up 5 earned runs, and one time against the Mariners, the second to last game of the season, or at least start for him, 1.1 innings pitched, 7 earned runs. Ooh, that did not help me at all. I don't know why I started him that year. In any case, Jason Alexander was a bright spot in this rotation towards the end of the season. And the whole season, the bullpen was a great bright spot for the pitching. There were a few guys who were absolute monsters. Josh Hader did his Josh Hader thing. Brian Abreu, Brian King, and Stephen O'Kirk, all phenomenal, all with 10 plus holds. Brian King and Brian Abreu had 25 plus holds each. Whips, 1.2 and below. If there's a bright spot, a major bright spot on this team, it is absolutely the bullpen. This upcoming year, Hader's starting the year on the IL, and Mr. Brian Abreu is going to be the starting closer, and I am going to get as many shares of him as possible. Moving on to the prospects, there are 0 for the Astros in the top 100. The best one they have, or major league one they have, is Bryce Matthews. He is their, I think, number 3 prospect. He profiles as a power hitter who has a lot of strikeouts, a 30% strikeout rate. So, buddy, you got to give that down if you want to come up and stay up. As we move on to the additions and subtractions or departures, some of these names, Correa came back. Welcome back. Joey Luperfido, welcome back. Kevin Biggio, okay, well, your dad was here, so I guess welcome back. I'm sure you've been in Dyken Park before. This brought in Christian Vasquez to help Yonder Diaz. Now, I say help him because both of them profile more offensively than defensively, but Christian Vasquez is better behind the plate. He also brought Kaiwei Ting over from the Giants and signed 3-time Japanese All-Star Tatsui Amaya. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, but he is a pitcher who is supposed to be really good and is already slotted number 2, because on the departure side, They got rid of Framber Valdez. Hopefully Valdez does not try to cross up Dylan Dingler because I feel like Dylan Dingler could beat him up. As we went to the fantasy assets, Jeremy Pena, Jose Altuve, Christian Walker, and Yordan Alvarez are absolute must-haves. Going a little deeper, Cam Smith, Zach Cole, Carlos Correa, Isaac Paredes. Those might be guys to look at, mainly for depth, but also if they decide to break out. On the pitching side, you gotta look at Hunter Brown. Tetsuya Mai, you might want to look at him as well. I don't know how he's going to do. I mean, he could be great. He also could not be great. It's like, Toko Sugano or something like that for the Orioles. Yeah, he wasn't great. I definitely want you to look at anyone in that bullpen. What do you mean anyone? Anyone in that bullpen. Kurt, look at him. Abreu, look at him. Hader, look at him. Maybe Bennett Sousa, look at him. Anyone in that bullpen. As you get to the bold predictions, Yordan Alvarez, going to hit 40 homers and have 100 RBIs this year and have like 80 walks. That's important to me because I have a walks league. Jose Altuve is going to go 2020 with a 280 batting average. What's up, man? I also think Hunter Brown is going to go 200 innings, 200 strikeouts, and have at least 10 wins. I say at least because who knows how many runs he's going to get in support. And my final bold prediction, Brian Abreu will be the closer of this team, like for the entire year. Maybe when Hader comes back up, he'll take it over for like a very short period of time. But if Abreu's doing good, if Abreu's doing great like he has been, he's going to stick in the closer role. And that's going to do it for day 19. The Astros are done in the playoffs. I'm so excited for it. We're going to be talking about the AL West leaders, winners, and come up just short in the playoffs, the Seattle Mariners. I'm looking forward to that because I really love that rotation. Still one of the best rotations in all of baseball, even with Bryce Miller absolutely crapping the bed. This is JK Canal. Thank you for sharing part of your day with me.